Words in math. Yes, people, math can include words, and I'm here to hopefully help you understand those math word problems that you hate to see. Yes, I'm aware that many people see word problems and freak out, okay? Just because you're in math doesn't mean that words should scare you, okay? There's a method to solving every word problem, and I'm here to help you. Okay, so just relax, and here we go. With every word problem, there is a simple 6-step method that you can go through. Does everyone need to go through this method? Not necessarily, but if you struggle with word problems, then I really recommend you going through these 6 steps that I'm about to walk you through. Step 1, read. Okay, guys, read the problem. Most of you click next exercise, a word problem pops up, and your hand goes straight up in the air. Okay? Don't freak out. Okay? Read the problem slowly. Don't just read it to say you read it. Read the problem slowly and really think about the questions that it's asking. And I kind of snuck us into step 2, which is think. Okay, guys, when you read the question, I want you to think, what is this question looking for? What am I trying to find? What all is included in the information they give me? Okay? If you don't read the question, then you're not going to know how to answer the question. Okay? You can't get to the answer unless you know the question. So remember that when you see a word problem and you just want to stick your hand up in the air. You have to read it first. So after you have read the problem and you've thought about what it's asking you, your third step would be to find a variable. There is something in your word problem that is unknown. That unknown is what gets the variable, which in most cases we call x. Okay, right now I'm just explaining what each step is, but don't worry because we will do examples walking through the simple 6 steps. Okay, so we've read the problem, we've thought about what it's asking, and we assigned a variable to our unknown. Well, now that we have a variable, we need to write an equation to help us solve for that unknown. Now, writing the equation will be based off the information they give us in the problem. Okay, so as you read the problem, or after you read the problem the first time, go back and say, okay, I read the problem, I know what it's looking for. Then go back to the problem, reread it, and look for the information they give you to use in your equation. Okay, so now that you have your equation based on the word problem and based on your unknown variable, you need to solve that equation for your unknown variable. Now, whenever you write these equations and the examples that I'm about to work with you, we're only going to have one unknown variable. So that means that we're going to know every number in our equation but x, and x is what we are looking for. Yes! We solved our equation and x equals 2. That is great, people. Okay? But what does x equals 2 mean? Okay? Our last step in the simple 6 method is to interpret your answer. You can't be given a problem by your boss and your boss say, figure out how many zucchinis, how many zucchinis he has to sell in order to break even. Okay? Well, you can't go back and say x equals 2. Your boss is just going to look at you. Okay? You need to interpret what your answer means in the problem. So your boss wanted to know how many zucchinis he had to sell. Well, you go back to him and say, hey, Mr. Boss, you need to sell 2 zucchinis in order to break even, okay? You have to interpret your answer to make sense in terms of your problem. Okay, guys, so those were the summaries on each step in the simple 6-step method of solving a word problem, okay? So the goal of this video is to show you how to approach word problems, how to solve them, and also how to show you how they actually are used in your everyday life. But before I can get to the everyday life word problems, I want to show you how to use the 6-step method to approach word problems that are in your algebra textbook. And yes, I know that the problems in your textbooks are sometimes absolutely crazy, okay? But I want to show you how the simple 6-step method works before I show you how it's actually used in real life. Okay, so this is textbook example number 1. Now we want to go through our simple 6-step method. Step 1. So let's see. We're going to make this a little smaller. Okay, so our steps. Step 1, read. Okay, so let's read the problem. Johnny bought a new pair of shoes for $89. The price of the shoes was $21 less than twice what he spent on a shirt. How much was the shirt? What? Okay, let us be completely honest right here. Most of us read this word problem and we think, well, duh, Johnny, look at the price tag of the shirt. Yes, I'm aware. But Johnny can't find the price tag of the shirt, and this is the information that the worker gave him. Okay, so he read the problem. Okay, step 2, think. Okay, what is this problem asking for? It's asking, how much was the shirt? So our goal is to find out the price of the shirt. Step 3, the variable. Okay, we need variable. We need to find what is our unknown and what variable do we need to give. Okay, so Johnny bought a pair of shoes for $89. Okay, so we know how much he paid for the shoes. Well, what else did he buy? He bought a shirt. So what is that last question asking us? How much was the shirt? Okay, this last question usually tells us what our variable needs to be. So we're trying to find the cost of the shirt. So we're going to assign the variable x to shirt. Alright, step 4. We need to write an equation. Well, holy cow, how are we going to do this? Let's see. Johnny bought a new pair of shoes for $89. Okay, so we know that he spent $89. And he says the price of the shoes was $21 less than twice the shirt. So twice, if you do not know this, is the same thing as 2 times. So we know that the shoes equaled 21 less than twice the shirt. Well, twice is 2, so twice the shirt. And then there's $21 less than that. So less than is subtraction. So we're going to subtract 21. So his shoes for $89 was equal to $21 less than twice the shirt. Okay, I did not write the word equation over here. So that is the equation. Step 5 is to solve. So now we need to solve the equation. So, need to undo addition and subtraction first. So I'm going to undo that subtraction. And I'm going to get 110, sorry guys, equals 2 times x. Now, to undo multiplication, you divide. And so 55 equals x. Okay, we have x by itself. We solved for x. Step 6, interpret. Wow, interpret. Okay, so we can't just say x is $55, woohoo! Okay, we need to relate it to our problem. So what was x? Well, if we look back up here, we said that x was our shirt. So our question we were trying to solve was how much was the shirt? Well, if x equals 55, we know that 55 is dollars. So how would we interpret this? The shirt cost $55. Now, we just did a textbook example and what you would see in a textbook. Okay, so here is a real life example. Yes, it may be worded like a textbook example, but if you pay attention, this actually depicts a real life situation. Okay, so what are our steps? Let's just zoom. Let's make this smaller. Okay, so our steps. Once again, simple step method. Step 1, we need to read the problem. Your cell phone company charges a monthly fee of $12 and an additional fee of 15 cents per text. How many texts will make your bill $42.45? Okay, simple enough. We all have a cell phone bill. We all have restrictions with our cell phone bill. So whether we do it algebraically or we do it in our head, this is an algebraic example of how word problems are used in life. We know the maximum number of minutes we talk a month before we go over our bill because we want to do that math because we don't want it to cost us more money. Okay? So you see this every day, and I'm going to show you how to approach it in the form of a math word problem. So we read the problem. The second step is to think. Think. Okay, what is it asking us? Well, it tells me how much they charge me, and it tells me my additional fee. So, pause this and tell me what you think that they are asking. Okay, so hopefully you paused, and now you're playing me again. Okay, so you thought about it. The monthly fee, we know. The additional fee, we know. We know the final cost of the bill. Okay, so we want to know how many texts make our bill $42.45. Okay, good thinking. So step 3 is our variable. So we need to assign a variable to our unknown. So pause and think and let me know what the unknown variable is. Okay, so when we were walking through our thinking steps, we realized that we knew the monthly fee, we knew the additional fee, and we know our total bill. So we want to know how many texts. So how many texts must we send to make our bill $42.45? So our variable in this case is the number of text messages. Okay, step 4. Equation. Okay, so I want you to approach this one the same way we did with the shirts and the shoes. So pause this and try to create an equation on your own. Okay, so we're trying to create an equation with the unknown variable x. So what do we know? We know that, let me change my color here to blue. We know, no matter what, that we're going to have a monthly fee of $12. Okay? So we're always going to pay that $12. What else are we going to have? We're going to have an additional fee of 15 cents. Additional, okay? Additional has the word add in it, so that lets us know that we're going to add 15 cents per text. Now, this is the biggest problem I have. People do not know where to insert the variable. Well, let me give you a hint. Whenever you see per anything, per text, per year, per month, that per whatever should sing a ding 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 in your head to let you know, hey, insert variable here. So since it's 15 cents per text, that variable is going to go with the 15 cents. So we have our base fee of $12 with the additional fee of 15 cents, and that equals our bill of $42.45. Okay, and that is our equation. So now let's continue with our steps. Step 5 is to solve. Okay, so now we want to solve our equation. So the first thing we do is subtract the 12 from both sides. And what do we get? These cancel. You're just left with that 0.15x equals 30.45. So now we need to undo our multiplication. So we are going to divide by that 0.15. So divide by both sides by 0.15. Okay. And 30.45 divided by 0.15 is 203. So we solved for x. So now our last and final step is to interpret. So take this minute to pause the video and try to interpret this answer on your own. Okay, so hopefully you paused and tried to do this on your own. So we need to interpret our answer. We got an answer of x equals 203. What is x? Well, notice right here we said x is the number of text. So in our answer, we need to say that we have 203 text. And what does that 203 text do? Let me change colors. Okay, that 103 text will make our bill 42.45. So we must send 203 text messages for the bill to be $42.45. Good job, guys.